So about a month ago, I had the opportunity to go somewhere really awesome and get a lot of pictures and videos and just overall have a really good time. And I want to share those photos with you guys. We went to the Grand Canyon recently, and you might have seen my video I posted like last week about it. But to be honest, I don't expect that to get a lot of views. It's not the type of videos I make on this channel that often, but it was like a fun little travel video that I intend on making more of just because I have a lot of fun doing so. So check that out if you haven't seen it yet. But today I want to talk about these snowy snowstorm portraits I took on the way there. It was basically a road trip to the Grand Canyon, and on the way there we got stuck in a snowstorm for about like 10 hours or so. But that's a story for another time. Before that, we actually got off and took a lot of pictures, and I think they came out really well. And I want to share them with you guys. So I took all these pictures with the X100v because that was what I had with me at the time. It was the most convenient camera to use. And I shot them all in Acros. So it's a lot of like black and white kind of portraits. And I think it gave for a really awesome kind of dramatic look on the pictures that I wanted it to. Just for a little bit of context and backstory, on the way there, we had tied some duffel bags and stuff to the top of the car to, make some space and stuff like that. And then it started snowing. The problem was we had to get out and take those down or else they would get wet and whatnot. And so in the meantime, we stopped there, and in the middle of the snowstorm, we took a bunch of pictures just cause we were just having fun. Alright, so I know what some of you guys might be thinking, and that is, wow, some of these pictures are really overexposed. And personally, I don't think so. I edited and shot those intentionally to kind of match the feeling that I was going for. So I exposed in camera for the midtones, and the highlights and shadows kind of did what they did, and I emphasized on that. I think what it does when you're shooting in black and white, and Acros in particular, it creates for a very high contrast scene, and it was already kind of a high contrast day to begin with, but it makes more for a more dramatic look, and I think they really came out really well in these pictures in particular. So I shot like this intentionally. I know it might not be to everyone's taste, but it gave for a dramatic and edgy kind of look that I really like. A particular thing that I had to kind of get used to when shooting in the snow is that we don't usually get snow in Southern California unless we go a few hours up to the mountains. But yeah, we don't usually get snow here. So I wasn't used to knowing what kind of shutter speed I had to set to get the right kind of snowfall. So I was experimenting a bit like on the go. And so these shots right here, I kind of like for different reasons than these shots right here. And it's because right here I was shooting with kind of a faster shutter speed. So it made for a more dramatic look, like the snow was falling really fast and you can get a lot of motion blur in those. But for this shot in particular, it looks like the snow is kind of floating or a standstill. And this was because I shot with a higher shutter speed. But essentially that made for a more soft and dreamy look on this picture as opposed to like a dramatic, fast motion blur look on this one. So I like both of them for different reasons. And in this one, you can see I kind of lowered the shutter speed even more, and it just looks crazy right there. This picture in particular, I also wanted to highlight because it was kind of in the moment. One of my friends was throwing a snowball at another one of my friends, and I thought it was really funny. I wasn't shooting in burst mode. Honestly, I should have been, but because I wasn't, it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I had to time it right. So I think this picture right here came out really, really well because I caught the snowball with the backdrop of the trees. If I had caught it like a second earlier or a second later, the snowball might have been caught like with the backdrop of the sky, and so it would have been blown out and you wouldn't have known what was happening. But I think because I timed it perfectly, I was able to get this shot right there, which ended up being one of my favorite shots of the day. Alright, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those photos. It was a really fun time. We look like a bunch of, I don't know, dumb California kids because we are, but hopefully that was enjoyable for you guys. I think shooting portraits in black and white, or Acros in particular, is a lot of fun. It gives a different vibe and aesthetic to the pictures as opposed to shooting in color like, you know, ASCII or something like that. But anyways, this is the first episode and this is gonna start the Grand Canyon series because I have a ton of pictures that I wanna share with you guys from that trip we had about a month ago. So stay tuned for future videos and whatnot, and I will see you guys in another video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, please do go ahead and like the video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet for more, I don't know, photography stuff, travel stuff, and Fujifilm stuff. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.